Welcome to Financial Garden Live, where we plant financial seeds every week so you can grow in our 6 areas of focus. Emotions and money, entrepreneurship, budgeting, banking, debt fundamentals, and investing. I'm your host, Tasha Danielle. Let's dig in.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I go by the name of Allan Wilson, also known as Crown A Will. We are here for the season finale of the Financial Garden podcast, started by not only just one of my best friends, but also a family member, one of my favorite cousins, an entrepreneur, and pioneer into a game that I believe she's really creating and really dominating because creator. Miss Tasha Danielle is with me today. What's up, Tosh?
What up? That was a good intro. I'm not used to somebody taking over my life, but you doing it today.
You know, I had to put a little sauce into there and let the people how other people, not just me, view you in their eyes. So with that being said, this podcast, number one, was a phenomenal thing. I never seen really anyone actually executed the way you executed, as far as bringing on financial experts on many different things, such as debt, building your credit, so on and so forth. But this wasn't really a podcast thing at first. Like, what was the motivation and the inspiration of starting this?
So it's twofold. So first it was Essence. I started going live consistently during the Essence competition. So for those who don't know, I had Financial Garden had a chance to win $100,000 in a contest, national contest. So my mentor was like, "You got to start going live. You need to start, really telling your story more." And I was like, I already done that. Like I did a few podcasts that I was on, so I'm like, I don't need to get on no more. And she kept pushing me. So I got a lot of positive feedback from going live a lot during that contest. So afterwards, I'm like, I was really helping people. So I'm like, why don't I keep doing this? And then I was just like, I thought about it for like a week, and I'm like, I'm just gonna go live and just see what happens. I'm gonna set it every Thursday at 7. I'm gonna touch on one of the 6 financial plans, which is like in the intro, is entrepreneurship, budgeting, debt, all those things that I focus on. I'm gonna talk about it live to educate adults.
Okay. To educate adults, which is a wonderful thing, because even a lot of adults, a lot of people in our age bracket is not really knowledgeable on financial literacy and so on and so forth. And it's just like, not only you're doing that for the adults, but you're also doing it for the kids as well. Can you kind of touch on the plans that you have with Financial Garden, as far as attacking the schools that we have here in Michigan?
So doing it virtual. So Financial Garden has been going strong for 6 years now, and it's all been in person. So this March, I literally stopped. Everything froze for me because the contracts with Financial Garden is with predominantly after school programs. So I remember seeing my student on a Thursday. The Thursday, and we were in the middle of a stock challenge. And I'm like, I'll see y'all next week. And then I'm like, I know we got a lockdown, so I'll see y'all in a couple weeks. I didn't think it would be like this. I don't think nobody did. So I'm ready to come back and see my students, and I haven't seen them since March. So the game plan now is going live. Doing virtual Zooms with students. So I've been doing that recently. Been doing high school a lot more often than the younger kids, but just to still financially educate and try to keep it engaging online. So these kids don't want to be on Zoom.
Not at all. I know that firsthand, because we doing this homeschooling here, and it's like, ooh, it's a lot.
Right. And this is the thing though, because parents be like, well, depending on how old your kids are, I know the age of your kids because they my family, but and it's like they can be on playing big video games and Fortnite all day. They can be on Zoom and they can watch, they can learn, but it's hard to keep engagement. That's the hard part. You know what I mean? So in person, I'm able to joke and crack jokes with students, like being in their face or whatever. You can get that energy.
Right.
Online, you got people freezing.
Uh,
Hopefully, we don't freeze on this live.
People
But
ain't, the internet is not working and all that. Man, it's a lot.
yeah, and yeah, not only that, students don't really want to speak up and ask questions. They want to put it in the chat. And so it's just really hard. So I've been trying to adjust to just getting over that and trying to think of more creative ways to be interactive, engaging. But yeah, the future for financial guarding right now until schools go back into session is just to keep trying to do online stuff and just had that same impact that I had in person online.
Mm. For sure, for sure. I know like you mentioned before, when the pandemic came, it kind of shifted everything. Everything probably started to feel like or seemed to go left just a tad bit, not too much, but it's kind of a gift and a curse, as what I say, because it's a gift because you can stay home, but it's
Yeah.
a curse because you have to actually really put in the time at sitting in front of a camera or sitting in front of a computer screen for this so long, and to be a kid is just like, oh man, you know what I'm saying? Like you get real restless even when you're a teenager. So even though the pandemic came, you still kind of found the balance of doing financial garden online, which is remarkable. And also, I see this 10K with Amina, the book. You're still pushing that as well.
still
Can you
still
go
pushing.
on with that? How is it going?
It's going good. We're gonna extend it out to next year. Want to make sure we hit that 10,000 goal. We really want 10,000 kids to be educated on how to be entrepreneurs, and
Mm,
not just have a lemonade stand and you can do this something when you get older. Like no, how can a kid monetize their talents and just really putting the numbers behind it? You know, a lot of adults come to me because they don't know their numbers. And
mm,
so you think you got money coming in, so you good, but then you forget about how much money you spent. You forget about the hard work and money you spent when you start seeing dollars coming in. And so this book really breaks that down for kids so they understand how to have a profit in a business. So I really want this to be in schools everywhere. So we're still making progress towards that, but just really for people to get the book.
man, the book is amazing. I know I'm probably saying all these. Everything that you're doing is remarkable and it's amazing and it's great because it really is. And for you to actually create a book, something that a child can actually touch and feel and read, I think it's very important and it's very just on point, especially when it comes to teaching the youth on financial garden. And also, like you stated before, you're teaching the adults as well and pushing the story of how you were able to pay off $80,000 before the age of 30. Was that journey that you went through as far as paying that debt off? Did it really prepare you and give you the real motivation of actually starting something new for yourself and a business and actually helping and teaching other people how they can do the same thing that you did as well?
Yeah, so the journey for paying off the debt, I didn't think it was a big deal. Right.
Mm.
This is why it's so important to have good friends. I didn't. So Jackie Jones, who was on last week, and I love Jackie. I will always shout her out. She is like a friend I made as an adult. People always say it's hard to make like-minded friends as an adult. We met at a live podcast.
Yeah.
Um, so this was like 3 or 4 years ago. So we met at a podcast and we just was on the same mindset. So anyway, fast forward, I'm telling her about Financial Garden, and she's interested in getting a personal finance, start her blog. And I'm like, yeah, I paid off my debt. That's what really got me started. When I teach kids, I paid off 80,000. She's like, you paid off that? How much? And I told her, and I'm like, yeah, I did it before the age of 30. And she was just like, you got to start telling people that. And I was like, I honestly didn't think nobody cared. Like, I said that to her, and then my mentor, I had told her, and she was like, that needs to be like front and center of your story, because that's really how I started Financial Garden. Like, when I was paying off this debt, when I was paying off the debt, I should say, and I'm a Christian, so I was fasting, and Financial Garden came to me because I knew I wanted to. It was twofold: teach kids about money, and I knew they struggled with math because I was a math tutor at the time, and my peers didn't think it was worth it paying off all this debt. They thought I should invest my money, focus on investing, and worry about the debt later. So I'm like, I need to educate students as early as kindergarten so they can know about debt. They can know how to invest money, know how to be an entrepreneur, not finding this all out in high school when they money mindset is already done for the most part. It's already kind of set in stone at that age in high school.
This is facts. And for you to even say that you planned on educating kids that was as young as in kindergarten is something that I really want to touch on, because a lot of people don't even know when is the proper age to actually start teaching their kids on financial literacy, if they even have all the knowledge themselves. So that's something that I kind of commend you on, because it's just basically asking the question or answering the question that you can start teaching your kids about financial literacy as early as you can. You know what I mean? Because children do on a lot of things.
Listen, Allan, I tell people to teach their kids as early as 3. If not, when they start understanding to buy me something, when they ask for something, that's when you should start saying, like, okay, this costs money, and I get money because I work. Like, just those fundamental things, because they understand that it's just not a free for all. Then it starts building those foundational blocks. So it's really important to start as early as possible.
Perfect. Now I want to kind of get back into the essence contest that you were on. Unfortunately, you didn't come with the outcome that you planned for and worked so hard for. But to be top 3 in the nation as far as your idea, your business plan and proposal, to be one of the top 3 in the nation. Come on now.
That's true.
Come on now. You know what I mean? And when you told me, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was saying, when you put it like that is a big deal, but I just be focusing on, I ain't get number 1. I didn't get number 1. So Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you good. And I'm glad you said that, because even though in your head you saying that you didn't get number 1, but look what it created. You know what I'm saying? It helped create a whole new lane as far as the podcast world, and you actually dropping your podcast and educating folks. So it's just like, you didn't get number 1 on the contest, but you starting another whole nother venture, and adding it on to your business that you have already is just that was a smart move. You know what I'm saying? And you benefited something for sure off of that.
I did. Thank you. I still got 15,000. It wasn't 100,000. But you know what? You're right. I mean, the podcast wouldn't happen if it were for the contest. Let's not say it wouldn't happen. It wouldn't happen probably this year. Like, for real, me doing a podcast was never on my radar. And I was just like, let me just get on here to drop some gems every now and then during the contest. But I started pushing myself because of that contest. By me not getting number 1, like, I literally was devastated for like a day. And then I was just like, okay, now what's the comeback plan? So shout out to the Marcus who's saying welcome back. I know that's in relations to me. and to the Jeezy battle. But shout out to you for saying welcome back, because honestly, Allan, I was like, man, how am I gonna like because I knew before it was announced, like we, pre-recorded stuff. So I'm over here like, man, I ain't win. I can't tell nobody. I'm just over here crying in the corner by myself, and I gotta act like I didn't know, and didn't know all this stuff. Whatever, we could not say anything. So to me, I'm like, dang, like Allan, I put in work. You was one of my biggest supporters. Getting radio time, getting TV time. I mean, I was going hard. So to come in second, I was like, man, this is not acceptable. Even though I'm still I definitely was grateful for getting a $15,000 grant, but I still was just like really felt defeated, and I was not happy. But then people like you start telling me the good that came out of it. So I started putting a positive mindset and spin on it.
You came in what place again?
Second, number 2.
So you were top 2 in the nation. Okay. I get it. You know what I'm saying? He was down in the dumps. I feel it. You know what I'm saying? Everybody want to be number one, but until a lot of people eyes, you are number one. You know what I'm saying? Especially the way you moving, how you moving, you still grinding. And it's just incredible. You know what I mean? Because I know just being on a platform like that, getting that opportunity, like, man, what were some other ways that you benefited from, Essence, just being in the contest, being top 2 in the nation? Man,
besides getting the money, how I benefited was pushing myself and trying to create a relationship with press. So I got so many more news features and interviews across the US because of this contest. And then people start, finding Financial Garden on Twitter and finding us on social media because of this contest. So I started finding new ways to tell my story, which is something I never thought about before. I never thought about having a relationship with press before this contest at all. I just was like, I was getting clients from going to conferences and word of mouth. So not even really putting a whole lot of marketing behind it. So before this pandemic, I never really had to think about true marketing. And definitely before Essence, I never thought about marketing. How many people know Financial Guardian name? I'm just like, if I'm getting revenue and I'm educating people, I'm reaching my goal. You know what I mean? So it just really, I benefit a lot from I need to press harder, and I need to really get stronger on building out my team, which I have done from Essence. So now it's a team of 4 of us, plus me. And the 5th person is coming on before the end of the year. So I wasn't thinking that before Essence, you know what I mean? I kept saying I'm gonna get there. I had 2 people, and then I'm like, oh, I'm gonna grow, but like now I'm like, no, game on. You know what I mean? So really got more into strategic planning as a result of this contest.
For sure. And you said you created a relationship with press now, because before, when we were really, because I was in the field with you when it came to that, trying to attack the media. The media can kind of be a little iffy. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially if you want to get like some time on the radio or things like that. But God bless, you were able to be on the news and express your story too. So how did that relationship come apart, or how did it begin, rather?
So how I have my relationship now with press is because really of my social media manager really during the contest literally sending cold DMs to every every news producer, every anchor, every cameraman, like everything, right? But that's how people started to know about the contest, like putting in work. But now it's been who are the writers that featured it. So from one article, another news station wanted to pick it up, and people who had interviewed me in the past, like, let me email them and stay on top of them, like, hey, I got this is what's going on with me now, like, let me pitch. So that's how I'm making sure I keep that relationship going with people in the past, because if we for the contest, I had been in Business Insider, I had my article idea had got syndicated and picked up like on some Fox outlet or something. I mean, CBS outlet. So it was just like, let me make sure I keep those relationships with writers going, because they are always looking for a new way to spend something. So that's just what it taught me. But how I got those relationships was just sliding DMs
Yeah.
and being
You
relentless about
body
it. But
weight.
you can, look, I had to do what I had to do. And you know what? I will say this too. With press, it's always about timing. You may think something is important, but if that's not the focus or the energy right now, no one cares. So the Essence contest was going on in the peak of Black Lives Matter movement, and that was what the focus was on. Now I'm thinking Financial Garden is in Detroit. We predominantly serve Black students. You know, it's not specific to that, but that's been 95% of the students that I've served with Financial Garden. So I'm thinking like this is what I do. You know what I mean? We having a conversation about Black Lives Matter and Black wealth. Like I literally am doing this on the ground. I'm not talking about in theory like, oh, we should do this. Like, no, I'm literally going to classrooms. Like, how can we not tie this in? And it wasn't an easy sale. It didn't start picking up to like the third week. That's when I got my first yes. Like at almost when it was over.
That is rough. I know the anxiety level was super high dealing with that.
Crazy. You definitely know because I was calling you like I can't believe this. Like what's going on? You like, cuz just be patient. You know what I mean? It's gonna happen.
Yeah, it's like fishing. Some gonna bite, you know what I'm saying? You just gotta wait, but thank God you was able to go ahead and get that interview. How was that experience, getting that interview experience, being on TV, on the news? Like, how was that?
It was amazing. Let me tell you. They Fox 2 News, like shout out to them. They did me justice. They didn't just give me a 30-second clip. They
Right.
they ran B-roll footage. They showed me love. I mean, like they really showed love. And so it was amazing. So I reached out to Taryn Asher. Like I personally sent that message to her, like, telling her about the contest and how I wanted Detroit to get behind me. And she responded like within a few hours. And so
Mm.
my social media manager was like, she texted me like, yo, did you see the like I was like, for real? And she was just like, can you record like it was like in 2 days. I was like, yeah. So I had talked to her briefly. And she was like, "We're gonna set it up on Zoom because we can't have anybody in studio because this is during the pandemic. We still in the pandemic. It's like I'm kind of used to being in
Oh yeah.
it now."
Oh, oh.
So she was just like, let's get on. And she like, "Do you have any students that you can get on air so they can like share the impact?" That was hard because it was number one, school year was over, and Financial Garden contracts through schools. So I don't have direct contact information of these parents. You know what I mean? And then want to talk to a parent and they had their kids come on the news. Not everybody wants their kids on the news. So it was a scramble. Like, let me call my clients and say, hey, principal, hey, site director, like, you know what I mean? How can I get one of these students or whatever? But I was able to get two brothers to come on that had been a part of Financial Guardian, and they were their mom was so excited to have them on the news. So that
Yeah,
was a win. So it was fun to have them be excited and really truly share what they learned from Financial Guardian, and then me sharing my story as well.
that was super dope. It was perfect. It was the right touch to the interview. Actual segment, which I was like, woo. Okay, cuz I see you doing your thing. I see you doing your thing. Yeah, like that. For the people that just coming on, this is the season finale for Financial Garden podcast with Miss Tasha Danielle. Um, Want to go over it one more time, or again, this probably not even going to be the last time, but 10K with Amina. People know again what's going on. What's the goal? What's the mission?
The mission is to financially educate 10,000 kids about entrepreneurship so they can learn how to make money and actually reach a financial goal as well. So it starts off with Amina trying to reach a financial goal and like my mom told me if you want something, you gotta spend your own money.
Mm.
So turning that joke I heard, not joke, that reality that my mama told me
but
growing up.
it was a joke.
That reality of like you gotta use your own money. How is like it's like walking Amina through like how is she gonna get there? So that's the mission. And I will say that we are gonna go strong in that with 2021 as well, because really taking a dedicated focus and trying to get schools on board to get this book in the classrooms.
Mm. Perfect, 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 perfect. Now going back, did the essence. You got the 10K with the Mina going. You're doing the virtual lessons. What is next? What is next for Financial Garden?
That what's next is really bringing quality digital content online, like well digital is online, but bringing it to Instagram and Facebook, really letting adults be a part of Financial Garden, so having online courses for adults as well. So Financial Garden does adults, parents, I mean adult educators and students. So we actually do professional development for educators, but because of the pandemic, that got put on hold. Like because teachers, people were not concerned. Teachers still have to do professional development, right? But trying to learn something new and say, "Oh, this is engaging" or whatever, and they can't even get people on Zoom. It hasn't been the easiest. It hasn't been as easy as still. Even going back to clients that had did it before. It's just like this pandemic and this the school districts and education is really hard right now. So really
Mm-hmm.
starting that professional development piece back up, and the digital content for adults would be checklists, like starting back up with a newsletter, providing that content to adults, and really delivering with online courses taught by me. So one of the things that I have right now is 10 things you need to know when starting a business, because I am constantly asked in DMs, Facebook messages, emails, text messages, because my financial guard number is listed. Is something related when adults hit me up is usually related to three things: investing, something about their business, and credit is number one.
I got you.
So it's like all these things I keep saying and what I know from experience from helping people one on one, let me just put this in a course. So I have that course. I have a budgeting course coming in 2020 in January. So people want to know how I did the debt pay off 80K before 30. I always tell people I took a little bit from each financial expert that I like. So that's going to be in a course. And it's not just you reading, it's literally me on video walking you through step by step in my Excel files how I did it.
Mm.
So that's what's coming. More
Yeah.
online courses for adults.
Woo! That's the sauce right there. Jesus. Step by step going through spreadsheets.
On the
Who can
spreadsheets
do that?
now.
Other people do. Who don't do that? Woo! You just blew my
Listen,
breath with
I
that one.
everybody don't like spreadsheets like me. I understand, but I have that in mind. So what I would say why educators really like financial guardian and why adults like parents come back to me ask me something is because the way that I teach in the classroom. This is not just me telling you facts. It's always a game associated with it. It's always a video or something that's going to drive home the objective, and it's broken down so well that you can fully grasp it. Like I had teachers taking notes in my class from
Mm.
investing because they're like, man, learning at a fifth grade level, I actually understand it. You know what I mean? And this course is when I walk you through it, I'm pretending you're an elementary student because you this stuff is not something that you like to do. It's not. It doesn't come. It's not natural to you. So I keep that in mind in these courses.
Man, amazing, amazing. Whew. Now, since we have a few minutes on here, I want to end it off with this. I know this has nothing to do with financial literacy, but these two people that I'm about to bring up are entrepreneurs, so I mean, it kind of fit a little bit in. But we got the Jeezy versus Gucci Man battle tonight. I want to know your prediction. Who do you have and why?
Come on, man. You know Jeezy going knock it out the park. You know Detroit Jeezy second home. Like, listen. Now this is not financial literacy related, but I would bring it full circle, and I'm
Yeah,
tied back.
sure.
First of all, let's talk about the power of verses. Versus when these artists come on, their streams go up, their merch goes up. So this is marketing. It's marketing at its finest because it's collaboration with competition, but it's friendly competition. You know what I mean? And that is so key. So Jeezy gonna win, but they really both gonna win because now people are talking about them again. They got
Yeah.
new music that's dropped, so people gonna stream that because they hear this. So that is how I'm bringing it full circle back with financial gardeners. They still get into the money, and it's all about collaborating. Who you got?
Yeah, that was good. That was good. I'm gonna keep it like this though. We all know y'all know what's up. I know Jeezy gonna win, man. But he does, I don't understand why people are comparing because there's no comparison. But anyway,
Wait. I gotta there's no comparison. Like
no.
Thug Motivation 101. Just that alone. That alone. Just let that play. And we're done. And we talked about this for a minute. Gucci Mane first hit. Who was on that?
I think someone by the name of Young Jeezy. I mean, come on.
Thank you.
Facts.
So I want to just say this about the collaboration. So one of the things about this with Financial Garden Live, like when I started the thought of this, I was gonna go live every week. Now that's tough to run a solo podcast. You have a podcast too, that's an auntie, and you got co-hosts. So that takes the burden off. Sometimes you're not on your A game. You can't think of a topic. It's on. You got a team. This is just me by myself, and I've been doing it every Thursday for the last 4 months. Something that was not planned, live every Thursday. And one of my biggest problems, or not problems, one of my biggest concerns or fears I had to get over is asking people to come on. Like, I thought people would say no, like, what's your views like? And I'm like, I'm just getting started. So that was nerve-wracking for me to be like, hey, do you want to come on my live podcast? But everybody that I asked said yes without hesitation. Like, sincere.
Yeah.
They showed up. And then I had people asking me to come on. So I'm like, thank you. Way to go. Yes. Listen, I really thought that I was like, oh man, people not gonna want to come on. You on live, you like, what if I get on what's on? But you gotta just keep rocking because it's replays. And I know the impact that it's having when people hear me in the comments. But back to the collaboration thing, I'm having guests on that are my competitors. Like they teach personal finance too. They financially educate people too. One of my favorite interviews was with somebody who does financial literacy for the same age group. But I had them come on because he is the truth, and I wanted to just let's be on this platform together and talk about how important this is and why we're both doing it. So, but when he came on, he's sharing on his social media about Financial Garden, and I'm sharing on my social media about his business. So collaboration is key.
Just a win-win all around the board. Once again, you are doing a phenomenal job. I'm so proud of you. You already know.
Thank you.
Because so I look up to you. You know what I'm saying? Man, I just really respect the grind, respect the hustle. I respect your vision, your purpose, everything about Financial Garden. Tell the people, even though I know they're on Facebook, but let the people know where they can find you at, and if they have any questions, where can they contact you at?
So they can hit financialgarden.com. So that's on the bottom of the screen. That's where you can get the book for Amina's bracelets. Instagram, Financial Garden. Facebook, if you're watching, you're only gonna find it on. You already see me on Facebook, but tag people who don't know about Financial Garden in the comments as you're watching this, as you're watching on a replay. Drop them hearts in, because a lot of people do replay and watch it. I get comments on lives from like a month ago, and I'm like, and they're at the end asking questions, so they went all the way through. So when you're watching this replay, tag people who don't know about it since you're watching it. And I'm also, well, I keep saying Financial Garden is also on Twitter at FG_garden. And that's we on 3 platforms. So Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And then the website, financialgarden.com.
Perfect, perfect. Any last words for the people?
Final words. Number one, thank you, Allan, for coming on interviewing me. I really appreciate it because you host the best parties in Detroit. Let me say parties of vibes. Look, we too old for parties. The best vibes in the city.
For
The
sure, for
best
sure.
vibes. The best
No,
vibes in the city.
yes. Due to the
And
pandemic,
you,
we chilling right now.
we chilling, but you do this, and your background is in radio, and you have a great podcast too. That's an auntie, so I really wanted to shout you out and thank you. And that's for grown folks. That's the conversations that grown folks have when kids is in the backyard playing. This is the adult table. When you finally make it to that adult
Woo!
table, that's what that podcast is about. So
That's
it's not
the
for kids.
table. Yeah, yeah. We talk about that. We talk that talk on there. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, y'all
at your
do. Yeah.
just make sure you get a glass of wine going. You know what I'm saying? Kids are in bed. You know, you might want to put your earplugs in with it. You know what I'm saying? And enjoy it.
That part.
It's definitely it's hilarious and it's very knowledgeable as well because we dropped them gems too on Two Dads and an Auntie, and it's very relatable because man, like I have kids. My co-host he's a father, and then we have Auntie Nisi, fine Auntie Nisi too.
I like
She's
it. I like that balance. It's not just men. It's not just women.
for sure, for sure. But yeah, because
But
man, I really appreciate. Thank you so much for having me on.
no problem. And I want to just say thank you, everybody. And I'll see y'all in January.
It's going down.
All
Woo!
right. I'll catch y'all later. Bye.